Again, we're looking at Bible prophecy taking place right before our eyes, if you were to ask me, right? We're looking at prophecy taking place right before our eyes. Because sometimes when we look at the scopes of prophecy, we can look at certain prophetic events happening that could play a role, or a multiplicity of events could really lead things to a place where there will be no buying and selling, right? Have you considered a war? Have you considered a war? Well, we might just have one in our hands. We are living in serious times. I was just on a live stream not too long ago. I'm actually getting ready to go to bed. And then I saw this. I said, Lord have mercy. We have to touch on this one. Because I see some prophetic application in this as well. I was on a channel when we're talking about the war and the conception, dispensationalism, futurism, and the idea that is driving some of the wrong political decisions that are being made in the name of either helping Israel, right? And we've addressed what was wrong with that. And boom, not even an hour after the live stream, and I was talking about there is this danger of either escalating the war to the point where, in the name of fighting on behalf of Israel, things could go too far. Now, this is not what we are hearing when it comes to this particular breaking news. President Trump posted this on his Truth Social page, and there it is also on X. We have completed our successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and all planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. This is massive. And we have a video where the president just addressed the nation, at least giving his reasons and why for such a move. You know, what's crazy about this news is just about a few days ago, 2 days ago, President Trump says we're waiting for Iran to respond to some of their nuclear facilities. And if they do not respond to that, we will give them about 2 weeks and a decision will be made. Oh no, it takes only 2 days. And this is what is shocking to a lot of people now. Why such a sudden move coming from the president? Here is a Fox News piece right here. Let's take a listen to what is being discussed and you'll get the idea of what we are talking about here. Take a listen.
This is a Fox News alert. News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, that's just seconds ago from President Donald Trump on Truth Social, suggesting that those B-2 bombers that perhaps were on the way may have been behind this. We'll get more details on these 3 sites that the president said has been attacked inside Iran. This comes after days of negotiations to try to get Iran to the negotiating table. The President of the United States saying it would have to be unconditional surrender, saying enrichment would have to stop. We heard from negotiations in Europe that that was not being accepted by the Iranians, that they would not stop enriching uranium. There was a thought that this could go as long as 2 weeks, as the president said he would decide within 2 weeks. However, 2 days is within 2 weeks. And now word from President Donald Trump that these attacks have happened. Again, interesting that 3 sites have been struck by U.S. bombers. And this, again, we'll get more information about the exact targets and what bombs were used. We expect that the GBU-57, the bunker buster, the massive penetrator bomb, may have been one of those used. Fordo is a nuclear facility inside Iran that is roughly a half-mile deep underneath a rock mountain-like facility that has been said to be the site of a lot of the enrichment capability. Esfahan, believed to be a storage facility for enriched uranium, and Natanz, another part of the nuclear facilities. They have several throughout Iran. It has been long described as a very difficult and tedious effort to go after these nuclear sites, but the U.S., for the first time, launching an attack inside Iran. Again, the President of the United States saying all of the planes are out of Iranian airspace. The bombings do continue by the Israelis inside Iran as this back and forth volley between Israel and Iran has continued for some 2 weeks. We expect to hear more about this operation, not only from the Pentagon, but perhaps from the White House, although the White House this evening, has called a lid, as far as meaning no one will talk after that. That may be changing now. Obviously, we have this Truth Social post from President Donald Trump.
So for the first time, the U.S. has launched an attack inside Iran. What does this indicate? Well, this could be a declaration of war. Hopefully it is not. Hopefully, just like the president says, the Iranian president will come to the table and negotiate, right? This is the B-12, just to give you an idea of how serious of a thing this is.
The U.S. spends $2.2 billion to build the world's most expensive bomber, but almost never lets it take off. Sounds like a joke, but this is the real story of the B-2 Spirit. It has no tail, looks like a flying bat, and is nearly invisible to radar. It can fly from New York to Tokyo, drop its bombs, and come home without anyone knowing. But it's so secret. The U.S. keeps it grounded. One flight might reveal its stealth to the world. And the maintenance? Insane dot rain damages the coating. Sunlight causes bubbles. After each mission, it needs 50 hours of repairs. The paint is radioactive. Technicians wear hazmat suits just to touch it. It costs $150,000 per flight hour. That's like driving a Porsche 911 straight into the ocean every time it flies. It can stay airborne for 44 hours with a bed, microwave, and toilet on board. Pilots take shifts like a flying nuclear submarine. The B-2 is locked away, waiting for day one of a real war. Is this America's
Yeah, friends, so this gives you an idea of how serious of a military operation we're talking about here. Just about a few minutes ago, the president addressed the nation, sharing his reasons for making this decision. Why so sudden? Why in 2 days? But again, how much is the Israelite lobby has influenced this decision as well? And when you also read Bible prophecy, what do you see? The wars and the rumors of wars are part of the discussion. So how will Iran respond to this? How will the Iranian president respond to this? Well, we have to wait and see. Only God knows. Now listen.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
These were the words of the sitting president. Massive. Now, how do we get to peace while escalating for more wars? Do you see what I see as far as some of the ways that the events are shaping prophetically? What will this say? We have to wait a little bit to see. We have to wait a few more days to tell. It is possible that Iran can come and want to negotiate peace, but not to enrich themselves anymore with uraniums, which could be used for nuclear weapons, which is one of the main reasons why the president has been saying this, even before winning the election. That conversation has been happening, that Iran, which is number one world state-sponsored terrorist groups, however, is just that many people, not just the United States, but NATO has been very concerned about Iran's and some of their military operations and some of the things that they're trying to build, even though they've agreed not to do it. But the question is how the president said that this was a work done alongside of Israel. So it wasn't just an American operation. It was done on behalf of the nation of Israel as well. And we have to ask the question, how much influence did Benjamin Netanyahu had in a decision to go and bomb those supposed nuclear facilities? They weren't nuclear facilities, they were just harvesting uraniums, which could be used for that. But the thing is, it's just that we don't know at this point. But prophetically, what we can see is how sudden things can shape and change in society just like that, right? The world could pretty much kind of embark into another one of those world wars. How much influence will this have in the light of Bible prophecies and some of the decisions that will lead to the enforcement of the mark of the beast? When we read what Revelation tells us, so bloodshed, disarray, all of these things will play a role. When you read Matthew 24, wars and rumors of wars, kingdoms against kingdoms, nations against nations, famines, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places, you have a multiplicity of prophetic events, all of them happening more frequently and with more intensity. And then you have the idea of a persecution, and also you are shifted toward the proclamation of the gospel, Revelation 24 verse 14, and not soon after that we have the second coming of Jesus Christ. So the good news is, when Christ returns, we shall have wars no more. But until then, we live in a chaotic and crazy world. We have men making decisions. Some of them you can agree with, some of them I don't. We don't want the wars, but again, there's some truth to the idea that Iran is not something to play with either, right? So anyway, we can have this conversation all day and all night. I just wanted to bring this to you. I want to hear your thoughts. It's a divisive subject. When you read the various thoughts and some of the comments that people put under this video, some are for it, some are totally against it, some don't know what to think, some will agree with President Trump no matter what. Some will say, no, we didn't sign up, nor vote for this. Others will point out to the idea of Israel. It's extremely divisive at this point. We shall wait and see. But I'll tell you what, I don't think we need any more wars in this world, that's for sure. Certain political and military strategies have to take place in order to prevent wars too. So there's a reality when it comes to that too. So we kind of have to be fair with the conversation. But anyway, I want to hear from you. Where do you stand when it comes to this? Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.